Welcome to Issues in Education at Morningside College. I'm Barb Shones. I'm the lead instructor for the course, but I might not be your instructor. We have a cadre of highly qualified instructors who teach this course who all are dedicated to making sure that you receive the optimum learning experience in this course. The course is very intentionally designed based on the research of Wiggins and McTighe and using the understanding by design premise. So we began designing the course with the end in mind. And the end is a cluster of student learning outcomes that are derived from IDEA, from Morningside College Graduate School student outcomes, and from the specific student learning outcomes for the course. So let's take a look at what those clusters of learning outcomes are, and then look at the activities that are structured underneath those student learning outcomes. So the first cluster of student outcomes has to do with using appropriate problem-solving strategies and applying critical thinking to the things that you read and you hear. And also then to analyze the research and authors' views. So in order to meet that student learning outcome, you will be reading the issues in the Kuntz text and that are built on essential questions. You will analyze the author views and summarize them. You will identify biases and assumptions in your issue report. The second cluster of learning outcomes centers around the idea of conducting, analyzing, and synthesizing research that address the issues that we all face in the field. And then using that research to synthesize your own position, and then by conducting reviews of the literature. Now, another bonus, if you will, of doing the literature review is that it will better prepare you to do the literature reviews for educational research at Morningside College. So under that cluster of student learning outcomes, you will be conducting the literature review, forming your own opinion then based on what you found out from that literature review, and your own position then will be written without your own bias and personal assumptions. The third cluster of student learning outcomes center around providing leadership. We know that many districts now and many states are going to the teacher leader model. If you are going to be an effective teacher leader, you need to have the skills that I listed above, doing the review of the literature, forming an opinion, being able to write an action plan. So under that leadership student learning outcome, you will be using the literature review that you've done, forming your own position, and then creating an action plan that flows from that to affect change in your school districts, so that the change in ideas that you present to your group at school will be based on solid research, not just somebody's good idea. The fourth cluster of learning skills centers around the collaboration with others and using technology to explore issues and perspectives, and using the strategies that result in increased awareness and their impact on your lives. So to that end, we've created a group project. When we think about what we want our students to do for 21st century skills, for example, in the future, much of the collaboration that they are engaged in will be virtual. And so this project combines that collaboration, it combines the use of technology to collaborate, and the skills that we've already mentioned, so that you will end up with a group project that has the power to be an impetus for change in your own buildings as well. The last cluster of student learning outcomes centers around using the knowledge you gain about current global issues and local trends and practices in education, so that you will create your own final project. At the beginning of the course, you're going to be identifying some issues that your district is currently facing. At the end of the course, you'll pick one of those issues and you will state the problem, do a literature review, state your position or what you think needs to be done about that, and then creating a very specific action plan that you can actually take back to your district, and they can use that to begin their reform efforts. So keep in mind as you go through the course what the student learning outcomes are. They're stated in the course on the course site so that you are aware of why you're doing that activity. What does that activity mean to you, and what will you be able to know, understand, and be able to do when you're finished with that activity? It's very important that you check your Morningside email every day, because that's how all of us will communicate with you. Also, when you go further down in the course, you're going to see the document entitled Assignment Components and Rubrics. Be very familiar with that document because it gives you detailed information about each assignment and the essential question that we'll be addressing for that assignment. It also has all the rubrics. The rubrics will also be in an advanced grading form on each of the grading or assignment submission sites. Then also be very familiar with the assignment schedule, because you will not want to turn in assignments late. So in order to ensure that all things are turned in appropriately and on time, you'll want to refer to that assignment schedule. I hope that this short introduction has helped you become familiar with what the expectations are, but also what we hold ourselves to as we help you navigate this course. There is a short questionnaire at the end that you'll be having at the end of this video. Go to that questionnaire on the site, submit it, so that we can be sure that you understand what the objectives are, what the student learning outcomes are, and why the course was designed so intentionally for you. I hope that you will enjoy the course. I know you'll enjoy the challenges, and that you will all be able to reach the student learning outcomes that we have set.